This isn't just a video about my first solo hike. This is a story about empowerment. I am just about to buy my ticket for the hike that I'm planning to do. And I'm nervous. I don't know. Am I doing this? Am I doing this? It's done. I bought it. Just received it. Okay, I'm doing this. Hi everyone, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Monica and I make videos about my adventures exploring the British countryside and my life in London, sharing reflections and little lessons I pick up along the way. A year ago, the prospect of hiking by myself seemed unattainable. Today it has become a wish come true. Little did I know what this would truly mean for me. I am ready to go. Ow. Atie, no, mama. Ow, ow, ow. I heard my alarm clock and I was like, whose alarm is going off? And I'm like, yeah, mine, get up now. Okay, I am ready to go. I have everything sorted. Let's go. I was born with a desire for freedom that always exceeded everything else I had in mind. Every aspect of my life has been influenced by it. As a little girl, I wanted to leave the country and try different career paths. I always ran from constrained situations, and even if I had no choice, I would search for solutions that would make it more bearable until eventually the time to change would come. I grew up in the countryside during the holidays, and I've had contact with nature ever since I was little, but I never truly appreciated it, until the weight of the city life pushed me outside of it more. The moment I discovered hiking was the moment I felt freedom. As a seeker for thrilling experiences, I knew this newfound passion would feed my hunger for exploration and personal growth. The mind becomes clear, the body gets tired, and the eyes are mesmerized. I thought to myself, what a beautiful bargain. I have just arrived at Dover Priory and I am gonna walk towards the Dover Castle. I love the fact that before I start this hike, I'm gonna visit a castle. Like, honestly, what can be better? I'm so excited about this because it's my first solo hike and I feel good about it. It's gonna be a fun experience, hopefully. Oh, well, that was a nice walk up the hill. I love the fact that I'm starting this hike with a castle. Like, if I could aim to go in all my hikes this way, to search for a castle and just visit it at some point down the hike. I don't know if it's at the end, in the middle, or the beginning, like it's gonna be now, but this is actually amazing. I get to visit the castle and then I get to hike. Oh, two of my favorite things. I love British history, and while I know it was cruel and harsh, I'm also very much fascinated by historical places, and thankfully the UK has done a great job at preserving them. There's something heavy yet fascinating about walking in places where other humans have walked, lived, laughed, cried, and eventually died. It almost feels like those walls have observed all the life stories, those tragic and atrocious ones, and even the mundane moments. Every soul has left its mark, and how privileged I feel to be here too. Well, it's 11 o'clock and your girl, it's already getting hungry. So I've got a little snackaroo over here. This castle is lovely. And I feel like there's plenty of activities for people with children. It's very hot, very hot. Look, these are the hottest days in England since, like this year basically. And it's a bank holiday and everyone is out and about. It's very hot. Thank God I've got enough water with me. I chose this trail very strategically because it's a trail that I did before. And I knew it's quite open space. I knew it's going to be quite busy. And basically I'm gonna feel safer than on another trail. I don't know how much you guys can hear me because there is all the noise made by the cars that I just showed you. This past year I only hiked with a group, and while that is fun and exciting, I knew deep down that there would come a time when I would have to learn to fly by myself. The idea was there, only that the execution was stopped by a multitude of fears. What if something bad happens to me? What if I get lost? What if I end up too exhausted and feel sick? What if? So many questions that they eventually lose meaning or rationality. The funny thing is that once you go past your fears, you realize that, for one, your fears might not even have a root in reality, and secondly, you are stronger and better prepared than you thought. Look guys, I came here about a year ago, which was my first hike in England, and I came with a group. And let me just say, this is a different experience. I feel like every time I go places by myself, it's a very wholesome experience. Don't get me wrong, the group activities definitely have their place, and I hold them in high regard, and I can't wait for my girls' trip this year. But when I'm by myself, it just feels that I have more space to think, to reflect, to connect with whatever is around me, to pay more attention to my surroundings. And I thought I'm gonna mind doing the same trail like I did last year, but as it turns out, it's not true. I'm loving it, I'm enjoying it. Look how cool this is. I just have to go straight. This is fun. I feel like a child. Now I've started to be by myself on the road, and it's both nice and a bit daunting. The thing is, I did this trail the other way around. I was supposed to come this way and then ended up on the Dover Cliff side, which kind of makes sense because it feels like you are going on these valleys, and then you get to the best part, which is the sea, the cliffs.
but I started with that and it was full of people, but now I'm by myself. And I feel like I'm gonna go through some farms because that's how I remember it last time. I just went through a portion where it was full of weeds and they were so grown. It feels like people are not walking, people are not doing this trail, only me. And I got stung by nettle or whatever plant is that's very sharp. Let me show you my legs. Okay, I don't know how much you're able to see, but I'm like red and swollen on this one as well. Oh, look, it's very stinging. I had to do a bit of detour, which means I couldn't finish the trail properly because I was near the end, but as you guys could see, I went through a lot of areas where it looks like no one has been, at least not since, not this year, since the weeds came out and everything. So there was a point where I was meant to go through a farm. And that's one of those things that I feel very unsettled about in England, because there are trails and usually people that put these trails up on the website, they obviously check if it's a public or a private land. And the moment I was about to go through that farm, I've seen all these signs like, be aware of the dogs, da 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 da. And I'm like, do you know what? I'm gonna skip this one. So I skipped it. I walked a lot next to the road, which again, even that's not a great solution because it does make me feel very uncomfortable. But do you know what? I would have went to the end point, let's say, which is the point where I started. However, I would still have to walk to the city because I still have a lot left from this day, and I'm probably just gonna go around the city, find a place where I can sit, maybe have a lemonade or something cold or an ice cream. Oh my God, an ice cream would be perfect. That reminds me, because of this last hurdle, let's say, I feel a bit like, tired, sweaty, a bit, and it's very, very warm. So I'm gonna have a snack, my brownie. This is the best part about hiking by yourself. You can eat whenever you want. Not that when I'm hiking with others I can't, but let's see. I hope this brownie is still good. It's yummy. Look at this little buddy. Oh, he looks hurt. But I'm gonna give him something of my sandwich. There we go. He's probably eating it. Well done. Well done.
Like with everything that I do in life, it all comes down to reflecting on myself and what I've learned from this journey. Nobody prepared me for the empowerment I felt after completing this hike, the content and joy I felt for doing this in spite of my fears. It might not seem much for some of you, or for others it might feel overwhelming too. But for me, it was a big deal, an inspiring one. I guess now I ought to do more of these new things that scare me. What is that one thing that scares you, yet you are so thrilled to maybe one day do it? Share with me in the comments down below. See you at my next one. Bye everyone.